back.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Schmitt,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Great to be on this subcommittee.
good to have you.
Mr. Sherman, I know that you've got some connections with previously at NGA, and St. Louis, of course, is the home of the NGA West. We're very proud of that. And Lieutenant General Skinner, Park University, right? So, anyway, some connections there. I wanted to ask just a couple of questions. One, you know, we've been talking a lot about the rising or pacing threat of China, and it seems pretty obvious that one of the potential conflict could certainly happen in cyber. That's maybe the most likely, right? And we've got what you all are doing. We've got assets in the United States that you know, control water supply, energy. How do you guys approach this? Because you know, you wouldn't want to have a situation where you're looking backwards and say everybody's siloed off, because if something were going to happen and affect, you know, how the American people view something, you know, I know when there's a prediction of 3 inches of snow in St. Louis, there's like a bread line at the grocery store, right? So we need to be ready for this. How would you guys assess where we're at with that kind of cooperation and coordination with the private sector?
So there's the defense industrial base piece we were
Yep.
chatting about earlier, but to your point, sir, if the PRC or another nation, state actor were to attack us holistically, our coordination with the Department of Homeland Security and CISA under Jen Easterly, with whom we work closely, to make sure there's no seams. As we look at things like defense critical infrastructure, which provides the support on our bases, installations, and posts, as you mentioned, for water, power, and so on, but many of those things are off our installations in the local cities, towns, counties, and making sure as we work with DHS that if there were to be any cyber attacks or anything like that through the governance that DHS has, that we're working seamlessly. And we do this quite a bit. And we work through, for example, DoD policy as an interlocutor with DHS. So there's, in working with Cyber Command and with General Skinner's JFHQ Doden hat on, we work to make sure there's few seams as possible on this, and realizing the Chinese or anyone else are not going to see boundaries. They're going to come at us as a nation, and making sure that we're able to make sure we can flow forces as necessary to the West Coast. Our installations aren't brought down. We can have all the data we need, and so we do look at this pretty holistically, sir.
Senator, I would add, my previous position as Indo-PACOM J6, I was acutely aware of the commercial power, commercial water, and the effects that would have on our ability to perform our mission. And so we worked hand in hand with, as Honorable Sherman said, with CISA, and making sure, as an example, we have day-to-day discussions from a Joint Force Headquarters Doden standpoint and CISA, sharing lessons learned, seeing what threats that they're seeing, what threats that we're seeing, so we're all on the same page and understanding, because every base post camper station relies on the commercial sector to provide critical capabilities, because from a cyber domain standpoint, you can't have cyber without power. And that is a critical portion that we are hand in hand in making sure that we all have a good understanding, not only of the threat, but what's their security posture, because they have to be just as cyber secure as we are.
And obviously on cyber, like so much of what we need to do to prepare, innovation plays a very, very important role. How comfortable are both of you with the breadth or diversity of those contractors that are going to provide sort of next generation technology? Because one of the dangers sometimes is everything, you know, there's one contractor, a prime or something that dominates, and it crowds out some of that innovation. Where do you guys feel we're at with that?
I think this is a robust market, and this is a national advantage for us across our entire cyber industry ecosystem here. Whether we're looking at our endpoints at Department of Defense, but also operational technology, Internet of Things, et cetera. And then, of course, as you noted a minute ago, sir, working with the civilian sector on that. I think we have a rich ecosystem. We have, and I'll say this not only on cybersecurity, but cloud service providers and others. We have the best in the world, and I'll put them all day long up against whatever China and Russia can bring to the fight. And our job is to make sure we're applying the best services and best capabilities against where it's needed on our cyber terrain in the Department of Defense. But I feel confident about this, sir. General Skinner, I don't know if you want to add to that.
Senator, I think that the innovative spirit of the American public is alive and well. The innovative spirit of the Department of Defense is alive and well. And I think together we are ready, and we will continue to stay ready, and we are the best in the world.
Well, we'll send that demand signal out. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.